So these are the answers for the review. So question 1 says $2,900 is placed in an account with an annual interest rate of 9%. How much will be in the account after 13 years, round to the nearest cent? Now, if you remember from Monday, I gave you a little chart of the order of keywords you should be looking for to determine the formula. First keyword I said you should look for in any problem is the word continuously, which I do not see. So I move to the next one. Is the word compound in the problem? No, which means we're going with either growth or decay. If we're just talking about money in an account, we are always going to be talking about growth. So that means we are using the formula A equals P times 1 plus R to the T. So we're placing the $2,900 in the account. So that is our P, the initial amount. R, the interest rate, is 9%. And remember, we always divide by 100 to make it 0.09. And T, our time, is 13. So plugging in these numbers, we're just going to take this entire thing and all at once type it straight into our calculator. So 2,900 times 1 plus 0.09 to the 13th power. Hit enter and it says to round to the nearest cent, so 2 decimal places. So 8,890 and 83 cents. So there's your final answer for number 1. Question 2. Each year, the local country club sponsors a tennis tournament. Play starts with 128 participants. During each round, 50% of the players are eliminated. How many players remain after 5 rounds? So again, go through your keywords. First one is the word continuously here. No, so we move to the second keyword. Is the word compound here? No, so that means we're dealing with either growth or decay. If we are eliminating players, it means we are dealing with decay, which was A equals P times 1 minus R to the T power. We are starting with 128 participants, so that is our P. R, the rate, is 50%. Divide by 100, you get 0.5 or 0.50. And we're looking for after 5 rounds, so T is 5. So plug in all of the numbers straight into the formula. And then again, we're going to take this and plug it straight into our calculator. So 128 times 1 minus 0.5 to the 5th power, and we should have 4. Next, question 3. Determine whether this formula represents a growth or decay. Explain your answer. So if we go back, we did a growth and decay just now with questions 1 and 2. And if we look back, the difference between them is in growth, we are doing 1 plus R. And in decay, we are doing 1 minus R. So for growth, the 1 plus R means that that number is going to be greater than 1. If I'm adding something to 1, I'm going to become bigger than 1. Decay was 1 minus R. So if I take the number 1 and subtract something from it, it means I am going to be less than 1 now. So looking at that parenthesis, 0.8 0.87 is less than 1, so it is decay. If that number in the parenthesis was greater than 1, we would have said it was growth. And it says explain your answer. We did there. We said it was less than 1. That is your explanation for why this is decay. Question 2. A $2,000 investment with a yearly rate of 5% is compounded quarterly. Find the value of the investment after 6 years. So again, we're going to go through our keywords. First one is the word continuously here. It is not, so we go to the second keyword we look for is the word compound there. It is. So that means that this is our second formula from that table I gave you guys. Compound without the word continuously is A equals P times 1 plus R divided by N to the N times T power. So the $2,000 is being invested. That is our P. Our rate, R, is 5%, and we're going to divide by 100 like we always do. Now the 6 years, we notice right away, that's our T. But then we have this extra variable N here. On Monday, that same piece of paper, that same first sheet that had the table with the formulas, there was another table with your values of N that you're going to use. So this is compounded quarterly. So the N I had in that table for you means that we are doing an N value of 4. So plugging all of these numbers straight into the formula. There are 2 different N's or 2 N's in the formula, so make sure you're plugging in 4 for both of them. Then plug this straight into our calculator again. 2,000 times 1 plus 0.05 divided by 4 to the 4 times 6 power. And it does not tell you where to round, but this is dealing with money. So if money does not tell you where to round, we're always going to go to 2 decimal places. So $2,694.70. That 2 tells us to stay where we are, so 0.70. Even though that is a 0, you do still have to show that second spot. If money is supposed to be to the nearest cent, or if it's 2 decimal places, always have to show the 2 even if they are zeros. Okay, question 5. Kyle is going to invest money in an account that pays an interest rate of 12% compounded monthly. Assuming no deposits or withdrawals are made, how much money would he need to invest if the value of the account is $4,600 after 4 years? So again, go through your checklist with your keywords. Is the word continuously in the problem? No, so I moved to the second keyword. Is the word compound in the problem? It is. So we're using the second formula. Same one we just used. A equals P times 1 plus R divided by N to the N times T power. It says 12%, so that is our R. And again, divide by 100, so 0.12. And here, again, go to the table from Monday I gave you. Monthly means that N is 12. Now, we're looking for how much we would need to invest. So that means we're going to be solving for P, the initial amount. we have $4,600 after 4 years. So A is 4,600 and T is 4. So plugging in this information, we are going to plug the parentheses with the exponent into our calculator. So we're going to have 4,600 equals P times whatever we get from our calculator. So 1 plus 0.12 divided by 12 to the 12 times 4 power. Remember, these are the ones, as annoying as it is, we're going to keep this entire decimal right now because it can throw off your answer. So 1.61222 6078. Now, the P was right next to the parenthesis, which implies multiplication. So to get rid of it, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we are dividing the 4,600 by this entire decimal. So 4,600 divided by the entire decimal. And again, it does not tell you where to round, which means 2 decimal places like we did on the last one. So 2,853.197. The 7 tells the 0.19 to go up. So rounding 19 up goes to 20. And again, like on the last question, that 0 does have to be there on the end. Question 6. Faith invested $1,100 in an account paying an interest rate of 5.1% compounded continuously. Assuming no deposits or withdrawals are made, how much money to the nearest dollar would be in the account after 18 years? So again, first key word that we're going to go through is the word continuously there. It is. So we're stopping on the first formula from the table already. Continuously is A equals P times E to the RT power. We are investing $1,100, so that is P. Our rate, R, is 5.1%. Divide by 100, so we get 0.051. And this is after 18 years, so T is 18. So we are going to plug this information into our calculator. E is, remember, a number on the calculator, a button on the calculator, so you don't have to do anything special with that. So we're going to plug this whole thing in. So we have 1,100. E is second, the blue button. LN, third button up on the bottom left, right next to the 4. And it was 0.051 times 18. And this one says to round to the nearest dollar, so no decimals, so that 0.7 tells us to round up. So 2,755. $2,755. Nearest dollar, do not show me any decimals. Just the nearest dollar means the nearest whole number. Question 7. An element decays by 15.1% per minute. If there is 98 grams of the element left after 14 minutes, how much did the element weigh initially? Again, go through your key words here. Is the word continuously in the problem? No. So is the word compound in the problem? No. So we're dealing with either growth or decay. This one says decay. So A equals P times 1 minus R to the T power. So our rate, R, is 15.1%. Divide by 100. So you get 0.151. And then here, be careful, there's 98 grams left after 14 minutes, which means the A is 98 and T is 14, and we're looking for how much it initially weighed, so we are going to be solving for P. So plugging all of this in, this one is going to be the two-step problem for solving again. We're going to plug the parenthesis with the exponent into our calculator. So we'll have 98 equals P times whatever comes out on the calculator. So 1 minus 0.151 to the 14th power. Again, entire decimal, 0.10108. 98759. P is multiplying with this decimal, so we are going to divide it to the other side. So on our calculators, we are doing 98 divided by the decimal. And it doesn't tell us where to round, so because we're dealing with this element, we're going to go with the nearest whole number. So 969. Question 8, last one. Nathan is going to invest in an account paying an interest rate of 6% compounded continuously. How much would Nathan need to invest to the nearest cent for the value of the account to reach $1,200 in 8 years? So first word in the table that I gave you that we're going to look for is the word continuously here. It is. So we're stopping on the first formula already. Continuously is A equals P times E to the RT power. So our rate R is 6%. Divide by 100, so we're going to use 0.06. We are looking for how much he needs to invest, so we are going to be solving for P because we reached $1,200 in 8 years. So A is 1,200 and T is 8. So plugging in all of these numbers, we're going to plug the E with the exponent into our calculator. So we're going to have 1,200 equals P times whatever we get on the calculator. E again, second, the blue button. LN, third button up on the left, right next to the 4. And we have 0.06 times 8. Entire decimal again, 1.6160. 74402. Divide it to the other side. So 1200 divided by this entire decimal. And it says to the nearest cent, so 2 decimal places, so 742.54. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Your quiz is going to also be posted. Make sure it is submitted back to me by Friday night at 11:59 p.m. Show all of your work. I need to see everything. Otherwise, I can't give you full credit on each question. And let me know if you have any problems with anything. Hope you have a good day.